Hey there, everyone diving in with us. Ever thought about, switching careers? Or maybe just wondered how the skills you already have could open up some totally new doors? Well, if that sounds like you, then this deep dive is definitely something you'll want to hear. Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at the world of supply chain today. It's super dynamic, specifically how you can take your existing talents and basically step right into this field. We're using a really great article from ASCM Houston as our guide. It's called Breaking into Supply Chain, Top Entry Roles and Learning Paths for Career Changers. It's just packed with practical stuff, real pathways. Want to pull out the key insights for you.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is how supply chain used to feel a bit specific. Niche, maybe, but now it's absolutely central to almost every business, which actually makes it way more accessible if you're thinking of moving from another field.
Uh-huh.
So our mission today really is to zero in on those key entry-level roles, the learning paths, and crucially, why your specific background, your skills, are suddenly so valuable here. The demand is just huge.
Exactly. That's the core of it. So let's get practical. What are these rules? The ones that are really good entry points for career changers. The article makes a great point. These aren't just jobs. They're like launch pads. They're set up to use the skills you bring, while building that solid supply chain foundation, finding that sweet spot.
Precisely. And a great one to start with, because it's so fundamental now, is the supply chain analyst.
Yeah.
You hear analyst and maybe you think just numbers, but it's more like being a detective.
Yeah.
Using data strategically. Think about spotting that one weird thing in the data that could save millions or prevent a huge shipment delay.
Yeah, like anticipating problems before they snowball.
Exactly. Look at all the recent global disruptions. The companies that did well, they had sharp analysts figuring things out. So if you've got a background in data analysis, maybe you're good with Excel or even SQL, or just think critically. This is a really natural fit.
That makes sense. That analytical piece is key. But what if you're more hands-on, like seeing the actual flow of things? The article mentions inventory analyst or inventory planner. That sounds pretty hands-on.
It definitely is. You're right in the middle of making sure products are where they need to be, when they need to be there, but without, tying up loads of cash in warehouses full of stuff nobody wants yet.
Right, finding that balance.
Yeah. You get real experience with forecasting, managing stock levels, and using ERP systems.
ERP, enterprise resource planning, right? This big company-wide system.
That's the one, kind of the digital backbone connecting everything. So if you're detail-oriented, super organized, maybe even have some basic finance understanding, those skills slot right in here.
Okay, got it. What about people skills, like dealing with suppliers or negotiating?
Ah, perfect transition. That brings us to the procurement specialist or buyer. This is huge for the bottom line. You're the one sourcing materials, services, getting the best value. It's a fantastic role if you're coming from, say, sales.
Or customer service, maybe.
Yeah, customer service, even some admin roles where you manage vendors or budgets. If you can build relationships, negotiate well, keep track of the details, manage budgets, that's exactly what they need.
I can see that fit. Okay, shifting gears a bit. What about the actual movement of goods? That seems complex. The article lists logistics coordinator or transportation planner. Sounds like juggling lots of moving parts.
It absolutely is. It's all about efficiency, getting things from A to B smoothly, managing shipments, scheduling trucks or ships or planes, and crucially, solving problems in real time when things inevitably go wrong.
Like a shipment gets stuck somewhere.
Exactly. So if you've worked in operations, maybe project coordination, or even a really fast-paced customer service job, your skills in time management, clear communication, sorting out conflicts, they're pure gold here.
Makes sense. Okay, what about manufacturing environments?
Good question. The production planner or scheduler role is key there. This is about making sure the factory or production line runs smoothly. You're aligning the actual making of stuff with customer demand and when materials will arrive.
So coordinating everything on the floor.
Pretty much. If you're coming from operations, maybe engineering, or a really detail-focused admin role in that kind of setting, your ability to manage workflows, handle timelines, and think systemically, seeing how all the pieces fit together, that's vital.
All right, next one mentioned is customer supply chain coordinator. How's that different from regular customer service?
It's like the bridge between the customer and the actual supply chain operations. You're still focused on the customer experience, but specifically around order fulfillment, making sure they get what they ordered when they expected it. You might be looking at inventory levels specifically for key clients, ensuring service levels are met.
So using supply chain knowledge for the customer.
Exactly. If you have experience in client support, maybe you've used CRM systems.
Customer relationship management tools.
Right. Or just general order processing. This role leverages those skills directly into the supply chain context. It's a really natural bridge.
Interesting. Okay, what about predicting the future, forecasting?
Ah, yes. The demand planner junior role. This is super interesting if you like spotting patterns. It's all about anticipating what customers will want, what market trends are emerging, so the company makes the right amount of product. Not too much, not too little.
So using data to look ahead.
Precisely. Ideal if you have experience already in forecasting, maybe business intelligence or analytics. We're talking data modeling, seeing trends, and importantly, being able to communicate those predictions clearly across the company.
Okay, one more role to cover from the list. Supply chain project coordinator sounds different from the day-to-day operational roles.
It is, yeah. It's less about a specific daily function and more about driving improvement projects. Maybe helping implement a new warehouse system or streamlining a logistics process, working across different teams.
So good for people with project management backgrounds.
Definitely. Or even operations experience where you coordinated initiatives or detailed admin work involving multiple departments. The transferable skills are really clear. Project management discipline, coordinating across teams, keeping good documentation. It's a great way to see different parts of the supply chain.
Wow, okay. That's a really solid list of entry points. It shows there are lots of ways in, depending on your background.
Exactly. And your skills are the entry ticket. But, the article also talks about how to add more credibility, maybe accelerate things a bit.
Yeah.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, formal certifications come into play.
Right, from ASCM, the Association for Supply Chain Management.
Well, technically from APICS, the Association for Production and Inventory Control Society, which is the certification arm of ASCM. Seeing one of those on a resume, it really means something.
Okay, tells employers you know the standard practices.
Exactly. It's like a recognized mark of expertise. For instance, the APICS CPIM, that's certified in planning and inventory management. Super relevant for those planning or inventory analyst roles we talked about. It goes deep into forecasting, materials planning, inventory control. Very practical.
Okay, CPIM for planning and inventory. Got it.
Then there's the APICS CSEP Certified Supply Chain Professional. This one's broader. It gives you that whole end-to-end view of the supply chain globally. Great if you're aiming for more strategic roles or leadership eventually.
So more big picture.
Right. And if your interest is really in the moving and storing of goods, there's the APICS CLTD, certified in logistics, transportation, and distribution. Covers warehousing, distribution networks, transportation modes, really focuses on that physical flow.
Okay, those sound comprehensive and probably a significant commitment, right? Time and money.
They are, yeah. They represent serious study. Which leads to your next point, I bet.
Exactly. What if you're not quite ready for that full deep dive into a certification? Are there, smaller steps? And here's where it gets really interesting, especially for career changers. ASCM Houston also highlights these focused learning opportunities. Think certificates, not full certifications. Lower time commitment, generally more affordable, but still give you specific, valuable knowledge.
Makes a lot of sense as a starting point, or to test the waters in a specific area.
Totally. They mentioned the ASCM planning certificate. Great entry credential, builds that foundation in planning without going for the full CPIM right away. Ideal for those forecasting or inventory roles.
Good stepping stone.
Then the ASCM warehousing certificate gives you those essential skills for warehouse operations, distribution, quick way to boost your readiness for logistics or fulfillment jobs.
Practical, focus skills.
Exactly. And the ASCM procurement certificate introduces you to sourcing, negotiation basics, gets you ready for those buyer or purchasing roles.
Covers the fundamentals nicely.
And one more, the ASCM supplier relationship management certificate. This focuses on how to work effectively with suppliers, manage performance. Super important skill early on.
Absolutely key. Building those strong partnerships. So really what this all boils down to, based on the source, is that getting into supply chain, it's genuinely more doable than ever. Yes, demand is high, but it's also because the industry itself is actively looking for different kinds of thinking, diverse skills.
They need fresh perspectives.
They really do. And with all these options, the different roles, the big certifications, these smaller certificates, there's a path that can fit your background and your goals. Taking your existing experience and layering on some of this foundational knowledge, whether it's a certificate or starting on a certification, it gives you credibility, yeah, but also confidence.
Right. So what does this all mean for you listening in? It means that background you have, whatever it is, those skills you've built, they're likely way more valuable to the supply chain field than you might think. And crucially, there are clear paths, structured ways to make that transition into this really essential and, frankly, fascinating industry.
Which brings up a really interesting final thought, maybe something for you to chew on. Given that the industry is looking for these fresh perspectives, looking for new ways to solve problems, how might exploring one of these roles, or maybe starting with one of these certificates, how might that uncover completely new ways your unique background, your specific insights, could actually reshape some part of the supply chain? Maybe in ways nobody's even thought of yet.